In this video, I deep dive into my Luna template, sharing how I use the Brauerize mixing method and the plugin choices I use. Hey, I'm Scott Max, songwriter-producer, also known as the Ramblin' Man. Luna has two environments. We have the focus channel and we have the mixer. In this template, I have a series of groups and have drums, bass, guitars, acoustic, keys, folk, lead vox, BGs, which is the backgrounds, inputs, which I use to record instruments, the vocal compressors, the effects groups, my Brauerize buses, processing, and a hidden section. Within a group, I'll have different tracks, which will be either audio or MIDI. And within bus groups, I'll have different plugins for processing. Brauerize is a mixing method created by mixing engineer Michael Brauer. It's a mixing technique where multiple parallel bus compressors are used to shape the sound and add character to the mix. 5 buses are used in this technique where you send different instruments and effects to each one. These buses then feed out to the main mix. They are A, B, C, D, and E. A is for effects, B is for drums and bass, C is for guitars, acoustic and keys, D is for background vocals, and E is for the unprocessed drums and bass. There's also V, which is for vocals. Now bus A has all the effects routed to it with the exception of the vocal effects. Bus A helps to glue that mix together. Bus A has 2 different plugins. We have the Neve 33609 compressor and we have the Pultec EQP1A. For the demo I have my song Send It. I'll play it with bus A in, muted and then soloed. I send the drums and bass to bus B and E. Now bus B has processing with some plugins and bus E has no processing. Bus B has the NLS channel in mic mode, the distressor, the Avalon 737 and the black box. For the demo I'll play the drum and bass track from my song Send It. I'll solo and mute B and E and also the plugins. Bus C has the acoustic instruments, the guitars and keyboards routed to it. Bus C has the Brainbox BX1 and the Manly compressor. For the demo, I'll play my song Send It, I'll mute the plugins, and I'll solo between bus C and A so you can hear how they work together. Bus D has all the backgrounds going to it. For bus D, I use the MHB green and the Brainbox BX1 widener. For the demo part, I will loop my song Bad in the chorus section, and then I'll mute the music and I'll mute the different plugins. And just the backgrounds.
Smile through the storm, keep it coming back for more. We're so bad, bad, bad for each other, and so good, good, good together. We love fall apart and wreck one another. We're so bad, bad, bad for each other.
I use both inserts and sends for effects. The effects buses I use are Valhalla Vintage Verb, Valhalla Delay, Ocean Way, Hitsville, and Sound City. For the demo, I'm working on a song called Beat Me To It. I'll play the drums and let you hear how I use the effects buses. No effects. Sound City in. Valhalla in. This time I'll slowly bring in the Sound City. And without. Effects are then routed to the Brauerize bus A. I have two separate drum processing buses. One is called Kick Punch and the other is called Snare Punch. For the demo part, I'm going to play the live drums for the song Beat Me To It. So for drum processing, I use some inserts and I use the Hitsville EQ on the bass drum, and I also use the Hitsville on the snare drum, and these are the settings that I tend to use. So kick fat and tight on the bass drum and snare fat 1 on the snare drum. There are 5 different buses, and we have kick punch, snare punch, DBX, 1176 and dirt. So let's take the bass drum first of all. Now we have 3 plugins. We have the Neve 33609, we have the Pultec EQP1A, and we have the DBX compressor. And collectively, they all add a nice snap, a nice punch to the top end of that bass drum. So let's play it without the kick punch in, and you'll hear the spill from the other drums. Right, and let's bring in the kick punch. then back in. Now the snare drum uses pretty much the same idea, so it's the Neve, the Pultec, the DBX, but we add in the black box to this one. And again, it just adds that snap, that bit of punch to the snare drums. Let's play that without the processing. Then in. Out. And in. I also have 3 other bus compressors where we have the DBX on its own, and then we have the 1176, and then we have the Brauer Motion. These compressors just allow me to spread out the hats a little bit, and the dirt allows just a little bit of dirt. So let's play the hats, and I'll just bring them in individually and you can hear what they do. So the 1176. Then back out. And then the dirt. And then all back in. And that's just an example of how I use some of those processing buses. So that's the end of part 1, and in part 2 I'll be sharing all about my vocal chain and the vocal compressors used. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.